Hey guys, Kevin Downey from Kevin M. Downey. Thanks so much for taking the time today. Really appreciate it. In this video, I want to talk about a question that is, I think, very important in today's day and age for B2B companies. And that question is, should your sales reps be doing their own cold outreach? Should they be doing their own prospecting to generate leads and ultimately appointments and customers for themselves? And there is no right or wrong answer in general, but there is a right or wrong answer for almost every single company that I encounter. And so what I want to do today is walk through how you evaluate that question within your organization and sales team structure to really determine whether or not they should be doing their own cold outreach. Okay. So first things first, we're going to talk about B2B in three main positions. And these are our core profiles we use in Aptive Index to identify whether or not somebody is built for sales and what type of sales they are built for. Right. And the five we use to build all our client profiles. When we go to do a job, we actually are bringing in candidates and measuring them against this profile. It's an assessment product that measures motivational drives. From that, we can figure out what kind of job people are wired for, which matters because resume is always one of the worst predictors of success in hiring. And this is in the top three, depending on who you believe, right? Out of 20-something things that you can consider. This is very predictive. So you're looking at three main B2B profiles we're going to talk about: farmer sale, hunter sale, and BDR. So BDR is pure unadulterated outbound cold outreach to generate leads and appointments for sales. That's what business development representative, okay? Hunter sales and farmer sales are the two main sales types you would have in a B2B organization. I guess you'd be the only types. Okay, and your sales role, your key sales role in your company is either one or the other, and it's important to define this first. So a farmer sales rep is somebody who gets a customer and then keeps that customer. They keep selling to that customer day after day, week after week, month after month, whatever. They're cross-selling, they're upselling, they're filling in inventory, whatever it is, they manage that customer. In most companies, we call that an account executive or an account manager or something like that. But they're a farmer sales model business, or you are. Okay. If your primary salesperson does not have an ongoing relationship with the customer, you're dealing with a hunter sales model. They go out and get paper, they go out and get the customer, right? And then somebody else is doing the fulfillment. Somebody else is managing that customer in the grand scheme of things. Okay. Customer purchasing in the future, or activity, or delivering, or whatever it is, right? All of that is done by a different pool of people or person. And the sales rep doesn't do that, right? They have no ongoing sales relationship with the customer. They might touch base with them once a year or twice a year, say hi, maybe get an annual renewal on a policy or something. But like that's not a farmer sales model. That's a hunter sales model. Okay. So your sales rep position, your main sales position is either one or the other. And sales is the person who goes out and gets the customer initially for the purposes of this conversation. We can argue you have a hunter sales model and account managers that keep selling to the customer base. So they are salespeople too, true, but they don't go out and acquire the customer initially. So for our definition, that's what we're talking about. Okay. So why is this important when it comes to cold outreach? Because there are three different profiles that we're talking about. Farmer sales. I'm not going to go through all the drives, but high sociability, influence, sociability, consistency, precision. And this is intensity. High sociability. They have to want to have connection with people every day, all day. They need it. They're energized by it. That's farmer. That's who we want. We want somebody that's going to just maintain contact every day. They do great with relationships with people. They want to do it. They need to do it. Okay. Hunter sales rep, very different. High influence, high intensity. They want to drive the bus. They want to control outcomes, win the game. They get their jobs, go get paper. They don't care about, they're not antisocial necessarily, but they don't care about the connection with people on a daily basis. Okay. The build that we would build for a target prototypical hunter sales rep. Okay. But they're also not built for prospecting. They don't want to prospect. They're not built for it. They don't want to do it. They don't do it. It's one of the epidemic problems we have in B2B companies today. Because a BDR looks like this. Decent sociability, high consistency, 50 to 150 calls a day. This is the Energizer Bunny. Low emotional resonance. They're not fazed by the no's and the voicemails and all that stuff. And relatively low moderate intensity because we don't want them to burn out. High intensity in this role, they burn out. Okay. This is a prototype BDR. So now the question, we're going to go back to the beginning. Should your salespeople be doing their cold outreach? If you are a hunter sales model company, no. It's a waste of money. They don't want to do it. They're too expensive to have them do it. You want them talking to customers or to prospects, leads all day, every day. Decision makers with a pain point, whether it's by appointment or otherwise, or they have to do follow-up. I don't care. But I want them talking to those people all day, every day, as much as possible. Their job's to sell, right? They should be dealing, again, with decision makers with pain points. We are going to use BDRs to drive them leads and appointments. Okay? Farmer sales rep model or farmer sales model is different in that I would say it's 50-50 whether a business should have their salespeople that are farmer sales reps do their own prospecting. They're not really built for it. They don't really want to do it. But if you have a small enough pool of people to reach out to, it can make sense. If you have the financial wherewithal, if it doesn't affect you financially, takes longer to get ROI out of your sales team because you've got these higher priced people doing their own prospecting. If you can afford it, that's fine. I understand the argument there. But a lot of times it doesn't make sense. It makes sense to have fewer salespeople and have dedicated BDRs doing the outreach to drive them leads and appointments. Or even just drive them decision maker information. Like we have a client we just recruited for. Reps BDR's job is just to answer one question. Well, two questions. Who's the person that handles this? And do you have X? It's technically whether they have some certain type of water configuration for drinking water in their facilities. It's all the rep's job is. They find out that they're using 5-gallon jugs. That information gets fed to farmer sales rep. The farmer sales rep calls on them, goes boots on the ground, cold outreach. They try to set an appointment, but if they can't, they'll walk right in on them. But now my farmer sales rep is not wasting time trying to figure out who the decision maker is and whether or not they have 5-gallon jugs. That's a waste of their salary. Let the BDR team do that. So it depends. If you're a farmer sales model, should your reps do their own cold outreach? That's a conversation. If you want to reach out to me, I'm glad to answer that. Doesn't cost you anything. I need to know more about your target audience, how many prospects the reps have to go after, how big your sales team is, what kind of financial situation you're in as a company. If you're bigger, more established, and you can withstand a little longer for that rep to give you ROI, have them do the cold outreach. But that isn't always the case, all right? So anyway, that is the answer to that question in a not-so-nutshell. If you need some help sourcing talent, right? You want us to source talent for you, whether it's sales, business development, whatever it is. We can help you. We work on a contingency basis. We have 2 different rates under Blue Chip Recruiting Program. You can check that out on our website, kevinmdowney.com. You can also take Aptive Index, the assessment we were looking at. You should take it. It is so cool. Only takes 8 to 10 minutes. And then if you want to schedule a call, it's right here in the upper right-hand corner. Okay? Thanks for being here today. Best of luck in business in 26, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.